Hello there, it's the 5th of May 2019. Hello and welcome to the weekend news here on the Australian Broadcasting Corporation SRBC. I am Adama Silla. Coming up in this edition, Chairman of the Political Parties Registration Commission and the new Deputy Commissioner of the Anti-Corruption Commission subscribed to the oath of office before President Mada Bio. Citizens evaluate the impact of the national cleaning exercise 1 year on. And the Ministry of Tourism to retake tourism development areas in the country. All the stories and more lined up in this edition of Newshour. The newly appointed chairman of the Political Parties Registration Commission, Abdullah Masiyambe Bangura, and the newly appointed Deputy Commissioner of the Anti-Corruption Commission, Augustine Fodegobe, have subscribed to the oath of office before President Bio at State House. The new PPRC chairperson was the Deputy Minister of Justice. Hawama Siri tells us more.
Do hereby in the name of Allah.
Do hereby in the name of Allah.
Swear that I will faithfully and truly.
Swear that I will faithfully and truly.
Discharge the duties of the office of Chairman.
Discharge the duties of the office of Chairman.
Political Parties Registration Commission of the Republic of Sierra Leone.
Political Parties Registration Commission of the Republic of Sierra Leone.
And that I will support.
And that I will support.
Uphold.
Uphold.
And maintain the Constitution of Sierra Leone.
And maintain the Constitution of Sierra Leone.
As by law established.
As by law established.
So help me Allah.
So help me Allah.
I, Augustine Fodegobe,
do hereby in the name of God.
Do hereby in the name of God.
Swear that I will faithfully and truly.
Swear that I will faithfully and truly.
Discharge the duties of the office of Deputy Commissioner.
Discharge the duties of the office of the Deputy Commissioner.
Anti-Corruption Commission of the Republic of Sierra Leone.
Anti-Corruption Commission of the Republic of Sierra Leone.
And that I will support.
And that I will support.
Uphold.
And
maintain the Constitution of Sierra Leone as by law established.
And maintain the Constitution of Sierra Leone as by law established.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Section 34, subsection 1 and 2 of the Constitution of Sierra Leone, 1991, Act No. 6 of 1991, provides the establishment of the Political Parties Registration Commission and the appointment of chairman and members of the commission, subject to the approval of Parliament. Also, Section 3, subsection 1b of the Anti-Corruption Commission Act 2008 as amended, provides for the appointment of a Deputy Commissioner, Anti-Corruption Commission, subject to the approval of Parliament. Thanking President Julius Maada Bio on behalf of them, Commissioner of the Political Parties Registration Commission, Abdullah Masambe Bangura, noted the confidence President Bio reposed in them as they will make sure they do their level best in executing their duties well and working in the interest of the government and the people of Sierra Leone.
On behalf of myself and my colleague appointee and our families, we wish to thank you, sir, for the confidence you repose in us. And we promise that the only way we can repay that confidence is to ensure that we commit our all to the office you have appointed us to. We intend to put in our all and to do our utmost with a view to justifying the confidence you have in us.
President Bio commended them for accepting the positions and that his office is always open and ready to provide whatever necessary support they need to work within their mandates to succeed.
Let me congratulate you at this point and to assure you of my support during your tenure. We all know that we face a very difficult situation, and it takes the collective will and effort of everybody in whatever position you find yourself to be able to effect the change that we want to effect. So I expect and call upon you to do your best in your various offices. Again, congratulations.
The two appointees will now commence duty after their subscription of the oath of office. SABC TV News are in Freetown. Mosibo reporting.
Police investigator Manso Kapo, attached to the Criminal Investigations Department CI headquarters in Freetown, has presented a case file in court of the alleged attempted murder at Guard Street in Freetown. The file was tendered in Magistrate Court Number 1 during testimony in the ongoing preliminary investigations of an attack on one by Kuruma Afunsewa. Aminash Nyadi Brahma has more in our reports.
Prosecution Witness 2, Detective Police Constable Manso Kagbo, attached to the Major Incident Unit of the Criminal Investigations Department headquarters in Freetown, recalled while on duty on the 16th of April 2019, when a transfer case and inquiry file from the Eastern Police Division was allocated to him for further investigation. The file, he went on, contained statements from witnesses, photographs, endorsed police medical request form, police discharge card of the victim, 2 kitchen knives, 1 goat head hammer, and 2 scissors. Detective Police Constable Manso Kagbo said on the 17th, 18th, and 19th of April 2019 respectively, together with other police investigating officers, obtained voluntary caution statements from the 3 accused. He said on the 21st of April, the 3 accused were charged to court with 7 counts of conspiracy to commit a felony, robbery with aggravation, attempted murder, wounding with intent, forceful imprisonment, among others. Facts adduced in court say the 3 accused, Pankaj Kumar Panchal, Mohamed Kamara, and Usman Kamara, on Sunday, 17th March 2019, at 20 Guard Street in Freetown, being armed with knives, hammer, and stick, allegedly robbed by Kuruma of his 20 assorted mobile phones, physical cash, and other property valued at 66,090,000 leones. Reports further revealed that the 3 accused allegedly forcefully imprisoned by Kuruma and inflicted severe injuries on his hands and mouth with knives and scissors, and also attempted to murder him. Defense lawyer Samuel Valcasel sought for a short standout to go through the statements of the 3 accused that were tendered in court by the witness to enable the defense cross-examine the police witness, but the magistrate turned down his request and adjourned the matter to the 8th of May 2019. Assistant Superintendent of Police Ibrahim Ansari is prosecuting the matter, while lawyer Roland Gidwani and Samuel Valcasel are representing the 3 accused.
The Minister of Tourism and Cultural Affairs, Mimonatu Pratt, has said government will take appropriate actions to retake and secure tourism development areas as stipulated in the Tourism Act of 1990. She was updating journalists on issues surrounding the sector, amongst which was the launching of the Entertainment Foundation by the Ministry of Tourism. Joseph Toure was there in our reports.
Complying with the Tourism Act of 1990 by lessees, especially in developing national tourism development assets, has been a serious challenge for both past and present governments. This failure to comply with the said law has also hindered potential investors from investing into the tourism sector. Though paragraph 3 of sections 41 of the same act makes provision for cancellation and voiding lease agreements, yet this has not been realized as desired over the years. Minister of Tourism Memunatu Pratt stated that they have assessed and identified many structures along the Lumley, Aberdeen beaches and other touristic places of which occupants have not been complying with the Tourism Act of 1990.
Those lands are not lands which should be owned by someone. It has to be leased because it's very clear in the Act. So we have that problem. If you go to Lumley Beach, you see a number of unfinished development buildings. You see a number of unfinished, property, which according to the leases that were granted to them, they should have completed most of those within a period of 6 months.
She noted encroachment into state lands meant for touristic purposes has been another challenge. The minister continued they will work closely with the Ministry of Lands to map those areas and retake them as well.
Those areas are areas that must not have been sold. Those are areas that they should have only been giving them leases. So we are also going to look into that. Because if you go ahead and you buy a piece of land along the Lumley Beach, when the act says it should be only through leases, then it's your business. We are also going to look into that as well.
She added they will launch the Entertainment Foundation by the end of May this year, which she stressed will strengthen public-private partnership. Madam Pratt disclosed that they will also review the national culture policy. Director of Tourism at the Ministry of Tourism, Mohamed Jallo, underscored that there are some people who have not done any development on those areas since they last signed the lease agreement. Joseph Ture, Freetown.
Fire accident at the Ministry of Social Welfare, Gender and Children's Affairs has left the Directorate of Children Affairs and the Finance destroyed. We'll bring highlight to this.
I don't know how the fire started, but as we speak, the account section and the children's directorate is on fire. I was in my office when they called, and by the time I came outside, the fire was just, it spread so fast. By the time the fire brigade came, I think it was too late. And this is the second week as you can see, they still haven't been able to turn the fire off.
President Julius Maada Bio has joined other mourners in Dakawali village, Falaba district, to pay final respects to retired Major General Mohammed Sheku Tawali. He described the retired Major General Tawali as a hero for his remarkable service to the military. Hamasiri has more.
Retired Major General Mohammed Tawali was born in 1941 in Dankawali village, where he later proceeded to the Bo Government Secondary School and later joined the Outslav and rose to the rank of the 1st General in the Sierra Leone military. He did not only serve the military but also his people in Dankawali by providing all sorts of support for them in terms of constructing schools, health centers and scholarship for pupils and students from that part of the country. President Julius Maada Bio described the late man as a hero who served the military and the country diligently, adding that General Tawali has been his mentor and boss from the day he entered the Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces. President Bio told mourners that it is very difficult to come across such a person like General Tarawale, as he was a true officer of the Sierra Leone Armed Forces and had a very cordial relationship with his Kranko people and the Sierra Leone People's Party.
He was my supporter, and he has been with me all throughout a very difficult journey, political journey.
When I think of the late man, so many things click my mind, as he was a generous and respectable man who looked for the good ability in every human being.
Well, if you know General Tarawale very well, not being a true officer of the Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces, a gentleman par excellence, a man of conviction, an honorable man whose words were his bond.
One of his cousins, Dr. Sam Kagbo, highlighted that the late man was very supportive to his village. A representative from the Dankawali Descendants Association, retired Major Setmara, disclosed that General Mohammed Sheku Tarawale always used his military experience to unite the Krankos in and out of Sierra Leone, adding that the great loss of the late man will never be forgotten. Honorable Paramount Chief Ali Balasama Mara III described General Tarawale as the father of the Krankos, as he served them in different capacities. Sayo Kamara, who paid tributes to the fallen hero, said they were in constant touch with him, as he always made sure that their goals and objectives were met, especially in the area of education.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
President Bio also commissioned the newly constructed mosque that was constructed by General Mohammed Sheku Tarawale in Dankawali village before he was finally laid to rest. SABC TV News are in Freetown. Hawa Moswe reporting.
First Lady Fatima Madabiu has received an award as World Peace Ambassador by the World Peace Diplomatic Organization. This is in recognition of the work by the First Lady in the areas of promoting the interests of women and children. After receiving the award, she gave her reaction to the SLBC.
My level best to look up to be more than what I have become, and to, not disappoint the world and work for humanity, continue to work for humanity, and continue to work for this nation. I love Sierra Leone with all my heart, and I'm very proud that God has blessed my husband, and as he is now the president of this country, and that has given me the platform to be able to do more. I was doing a lot of work before now, but the platform has actually enlarged my space to be able to do more. But I thank you for recognizing me, and please next year recognize another Sierra Leonean. Let us stay Sierra Leone for 3 years.
The Minister of Information and Communication, Mohammed Rahman Soare, has assured journalists that the criminal libel law will be repealed before the next United Nations General Assembly this year. He made the statement during a symposium organized by the Sierra Leone Association of Journalists, LAJ, to mark the celebration of World Press Freedom Day. Sierra Leone's theme was interactive debate on criminal libel and quality journalism. We'll bring you the highlights.
The symposium was to talk on the negative effects of the criminal libel law and the way to improve on the quality of journalism in the country. Representatives from the Sierra Leone Bar Association, British Embassy, Mass Communications Department of Forabe College, and the Minister of Information and Communications were the key speakers at the symposium. All of them pointed out that Part 5 of the Public Order Act, which criminalizes libel, is hindering press freedom and investment in the media markets. They described social media as a major challenge to journalism since fake news is mostly spread through social media. Minister of Information and Communications Mohammed Rahman Suare said he is of the firm belief that the criminal libel law will be a thing of the past before the UN General Assembly this year. He called on SLAJ to train journalists to be more professional in discharging their duties. President Sierra Leone Association of Journalists Kelvin Lewis outlined journalists that have been affected by the criminal libel law. He said some of the inexperienced journalists are used by politicians to damage the reputation of their opponents. It is the same politicians, according to Kelvin Lewis, that report the journalists and ensure they spend days in custody before dropping the cases against them. SLBC News, Francis Ndanema reporting.
A consultation with members of parliament in the promotion of national social cohesion and peace building in post-election Sierra Leone has been held in Freetown. The roundtable discussion was organized by the Inter-Religious Council of Sierra Leone with support from the United Nations Peace Building Fund. Let's join Ibrahim Samura for more details.
The engagement brought together parliamentarians from the ruling SLPP, the main opposition APC and the National Grand Coalition Party to discuss their role on the promotion of national social cohesion and peace building in the country. The project, which was implemented by the Inter-Religious Council, was designed to enhance peace building and social cohesion in post-election Sierra Leone through religious leaders funded by the UN Peace Building Fund. President of the Inter-Religious Council, Sheikh Abubakar Conte, stressed the need for unity in diversity, noting that the council was established 20 years ago as a moral guarantor for peace. Sheikh Conte called on lawmakers to set the pace in the promotion of social cohesion, stating that they represented different constituencies. He admonished them to be preaching messages of peace, unity, love, and political tolerance among their constituents.
We want you to know that the future of our nation depends on us, depends on you as lawmakers. We are different nations, different tribes, different regions, but we have one Sierra Leone. That is different colors, one.
The General Secretary of the Inter-Religious Council, Reverend Dr. Osman Jesse Fona, said there were reports of political and election violence in the 2018 general elections, which he said led the Inter-Religious Council to approach the UN through the peace-building funds to support their projects on promoting peace building and social cohesion. He said the objective is to strengthen conflict prevention, peace building, and social cohesion capacities at community levels. The move, Reverend Dr. Jesse Fona went on, is to address potential risk factors and promote greater citizens and community participation in peace building.
One of the most important institutions in this country is the House of Parliament. And we tell people, you are the owners of this land. For this country to progress or digress lies in the House of Parliament. If you agree for Sierra Leone to progress, nothing will stop it. And if you guys decide that we should not be on the winning side, then Sierra Leone is not going to be where we are supposed to be. And therefore, we decided, we told the UN, you are so important, we need to give you the honor that deserves you, so that we can meet together. This is going to be a consultative meeting.
He underscored the importance of political tolerance and called on parliamentarians to serve as peace ambassadors. The UN Women Program Specialist Bendu Masakwe and Lady Facilitator Emmanuel Ngaima emphasized the role of lawmakers in the promotion of social cohesion. Mr. Ngaima said there would be no serious conversation about peace, unity, and national development without genuine national cohesion. Lawmakers described the roundtable discussion on social cohesion as timely, noting that election and political violence are perennial challenges in the country's political history. They underscored the need for the Interreligious Council to engage the executive to foster national social cohesion.
The Ministries of Technical and Higher Education, Finance, Planning and Economic Development, a team from ECOWAS, have visited the 417-acre land meant for the construction of a University of Science and Technology in Kano. The visit was a follow-up to the process which started in April last year. Joseph Toure has more on the story.
Potential students in rural areas have difficulty in accessing colleges and universities because of the remoteness of some communities they live in. Kano has been in dire need of a university over the years. Most young people in the district are engaged into artisanal mining after completing secondary education. This visit by the Minister of Technical and Higher Education, representatives from the Ministries of Finance, Planning and Economic Development and ECOWAS was to capture pertinent issues surrounding the project. The $50 million project, which has to be approved by ECOWAS Bank for Development, is for the construction of a University of Science, a cardiological hospital, among other things in Kano. The Minister of Technical and Higher Education, Professor Iyapakima, noted the project is a reality.
We're visiting with the consultants to make sure that they see the site. Feasibility study done in about 3 months, sent to ECOWAS, and they present it to their board, and then hopefully financing approved and work with that.
Chairman, Office of Presidential Infrastructure Initiative, Dr. John Tambi, said immediate steps will be taken in securing and surveying the land, and the government will also ensure electricity for the university and do 3 kilometers road leading to the campus afterwards. He added the project, after approval, will be owned by the Kano people. Vice President ECOWAS Finda Kuruma explained that their visit to the land is to assess and follow up on the process that started last year, and also pledged ECOWAS commitment to fund the project and for commencing the construction next year after due processes are followed. President of Council of Paramount Chiefs, Kano District, PC Tamba Emmanuel Tochifoyo, expressed appreciation to the government and ECOWAS for such development. He said they will ensure to provide local building materials including sand and stones. This project, when approved and completed, will help many young people in pursuing their education to tertiary level, especially in Kano. Joseph Toure, Freetown.
The Ministry of Trade and Industry, in collaboration with the Sierra Standards Bureau, has launched an inspection manual guide for trade monitors. The manual will be used to monitor businesses, warehouses, stores, and factories. Francis Barnard witnessed the launching and tells us more.
Trade monitors is important in unifying the system for the improvement of market transparency and substantiation of goods and products. Trade monitors are expected to monitor goods, expired products, contraband goods, and submit statistical data and market intelligence to the ministry. It is also the responsibility of trade monitors to protect human health, the economy, and environment from the negative effect of substandard goods in the market. Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry, while launching the inspection manual, Reverend Abraham Cisse Jones noted that it is very good to motivate and empower workers to work safely and to protect the long-term health of consumers. He disclosed that the work of the trade monitors was temporarily put on hold in order to sanitize the process of inspection, train and equip them to resume their work in the field.
This ministry observed with keen concern that there is need to enhance the technical skills and knowledge of the trade monitors in the areas of trade and trade-related issues, as well as interpersonal relationships with the business community, reliable trade data collection, report writing, understanding the civil service code and on rules as well as regulations, and a mode or line of communication. The lack of the requisite training in these areas, coupled with other unprofessional misconduct, led to the suspension of the activities of the trade monitors on the 7th of November 2018, and this is the press release that suspended your operations. Although a good number of the trade monitors have either certificates or diplomas and or university degrees, they however lack the requirement for the job in areas listed above. Against this backdrop, the Ministry of Trade and Industry and the Sierra Leone Standards Bureau, an agency under supervision, have developed an inspection manual for business houses, warehouses, stores, and factories that demonstrate collaboration between the ministry's trade monitors and the agency's field inspectors.
He admonished them to treat their work with the utmost seriousness it deserves and urged them to be diligent in their work. In his remarks, Acting Director of Domestic Commerce and Industry, Nkyle Ture, said the functions of the trade monitors are diversified and called on them not to be arrogant in the discharge of their duties. He pointed out that as trade monitors, they are to collect and process data, ensure that prices are displayed on commodities, conduct price surveys on regular basis, counter smuggling and contraband goods, and above all, ensure that no one buys unsafe goods through the channel of trade. Virginia Aota Koka is a trade monitor. She spoke about professionalism.
The new reformed trade monitors. We are going to do our best out there. We will not let our institution down. We will do everything that will be suitable for all of us.
For SABC News, Frances Bernard in Freetown.
Supermarket owners have raised concerns that some local producers are going out of business because they cannot sustain the supply chain as a result of leftover made in Sierra Leone products that are given to local producers because they were sold. This came after talks from supermarkets across Freetown by officials of the local content agency. Let's take a look at this.
Most of the supermarkets visited by the Director General and officials of the local content agency had made in Sierra Leone products, though in a small scale. The shortage of these products, according to some supermarket managers, was as a result of some local producers not sustaining the supply chain. Ali Sufan, the manager of Foodland Supermarket, spoke about how local producers produced below the scale of their catalogue. He told the local content agency head that some of their products cannot be displayed on their shelves because they fall below the standards that consumers are looking for. The same was heard from other managers in all 11 supermarkets visited within Freetown. Exceptional case was inside the delicious Hyper supermarket at Aberdeen, where the team discovered a designated section for locally produced vegetables. Maya Kaloko sells vegetables in the supermarket, and she encouraged other supermarkets to establish sections for local vegetables in supermarkets, something she says will add impetus to local producers.
It do good back for me. Give me one freezer.
The supermarket owner gave me a freezer to keep the perishable vegetables such as tomatoes and lettuce. I am grateful for that. The Director General of Local Content Policy Agency, Fodiba Dabo, says he was impressed with the display of locally produced vegetables at the Hyper supermarket. He applauded the efforts by the manager, Josephine Mansari, and called on others to incorporate such habits in the drive to promote vegetable growers in Sierra Leone. For him, frequent monitoring of supermarkets will sustain the sale of locally produced goods.
As Director General, this is my first monitoring to the supermarkets. Definitely it's not going to be a one-off thing. We need to ensure that Sierra Leone produce and services are fully monitored to ensure compliances. So basically, it's not going to be a one-off thing. As a matter of fact, I'm going to capture it into our work plan going forward to ensure monthly monitorings of these supermarkets to ensure the display our products is being actualized.
He called on local producers to work on their production skills and improve their hygiene in order to attract more buyers. Suriba Samura, Freetown.
It's been exactly 1 year since the President Julius Maada Bio launched the National Cleaning Day to be on the first Saturday of every month. The exercise received appreciation from many citizens, although challenges of compliance still remains. The campaign was first introduced in 1996 during the rule of a military junta, but was suspended after the handover of power to a civilian government. Patrick Salias scales the impact a year on.
According to a World Bank study, over 3 million kilograms of trash, show about 4.4 kilograms per person, is generated each day in Freetown, with hardly any safe method of disposing of them nearly. Before the National Monthly Cleaning Day was reintroduced by President Julius Maada Bio 1 year ago, solid waste collection in Freetown was at only 21%. Under the Transform Freetown program led by the City Council, Mayor Yvonne Akisoya and her team plan to improve waste collection by 60% target in 2022.
You know, when President Bio announced the National Cleaning Day, he said National Cleaning Day. But over the months, it became National Garbage Collection Day because people stopped cleaning and just kept hoarding their garbage and leaving it outside. But we're really interested in changing the behaviors of residents of Freetown. So this is an important part of our toolkit.
The National Cleaning Exercise is part of a campaign to improve hygiene as well as enhance the beauty of communities. State security forces, especially the military and police, are actively taking part in both the monthly exercise and ensuring adherence through disciplinary actions. Festus Kale is the Chief Administrator of Freetown City Council and says this exercise has helped to minimize health and environmental emergencies.
For the very first time, we did not see any major incidents of flooding and cholera and other related, waterborne diseases. So all was really one of the major factors for that success was the national cleaning exercise. That's number one. Number two, also we saw the huge amount of support, collaboration from the community, taking out their garbage, to the transit point and also to the dump site.
The east end of this capital city appears to be generating more waste than the affluent west, but most of the residents of the area are said to be reluctant to pay for regular waste collection. They instead store tons of mostly household-generated refuse, including unwanted mattresses and chairs, awaiting the first Saturday of every month to bring them out for free transportation to the central dump sites.
You see people in the West driving in nice cars and throwing their litter out of their windows. You still see people in the West also with a nice house. In front of their house, they have a gutter, which is filthy. And in the East, of course, we have a population challenge. It's very densely populated, so it makes it harder. And you have more informal communities in the East, but you also have informal communities in the West. So I don't think I would say my East or my West. Our whole city is challenged.
Superintendent Albert John Simbo, Metropolitan Police Freetown East Commander, highlights some of the challenges that he and his team face with law enforcement.
We have a problem with Sierra Leoneans. That is why I've mounted up a team. Now we have about 15 men who are around to see that people go out to clean. And then we have Sierra Leone police officers who are with us. We have the Masada guys, and then we have youth around. I've sent them in several areas so that they can go and force people to do their cleaning. Because they don't want us to go there tomorrow or Tuesday. They will say, oh, yesterday, this that we are packed here from Sunday or Monday. We just want to see how people can bring out their garbage so that they can bring it to the dump site.
The two major dump sites at Granville Brook, popularly known as Ferry Junction in the east, and the other located at Grey Bush in Kingdom, west of the municipality, need urgent relocation. The municipal council's chief administrator, Festus Kale, says steps to do so are underway.
But then we also we gauge the financial implication, because if people are moving garbage from the Freetown to places like Newton, you look at the wear and tear, the cost implication of wear and tear, you look at the cost implication of fuel, mobility and all of it. I mean, it costs huge amounts of money. So we are still on visibility, and the DFI, like I said, have given strong support to the Freedom City Council to ensure that the visibility, study is actually effective. So, Mayor, like I said, is very much passionate to ensure that these landfill sites are actually relocated because it's an environmental hazard. But for the time being, we have to see how we can put in short-term measures.
Views of Fatmata Sise.
It don't make a lot thing because it don't make even this malaria business, it don't less.
It has made a lot of difference. Even malaria has reduced because we clean and do outreaches, talking to people about hygiene, and they are really cooperating, so we are happy. Since the introduction of this National Cleaning Day, if you move around, you'll see the area is clean, with hardly any breeding sites for mosquitoes, so we're happy.
If rain come, so we're glad for the cleaning.
And Mohammed Bai Sise.
The cleaning, okay.
Well, for us, the cleaning is okay. Things are working well. But we use our bare hands to clean the gutters, so we need tools. We have made several appeals since last year for supply of the cleaning tools, but till date, none has been provided to us. That is all we ask for from the City Council.
Represents views of the majority of Sierra Leoneans whom I have spoken to in recent times, appreciating the National Cleaning Day.
This is Wellington, Ward 406 of Constituency 115 in the far east of Freetown. This area is the winner of the Cleanliness Zone competition, recently launched by the Freetown City Council to enhance the cleaning of communities.
Locking M. Mansari, the public health graduate, councillor for Ward 406, is the winner of the Cleanliness Zone competition.
We don't want to say because we won the Cleanliness Zone competition, so we are going to leave it like that. So we are still looking forward to make sure that we still continue to clean and we'll be on top of the situation as we have been on top of the situation.
The Cleanliness Zone Award is aimed at motivating communities to carry the spirit of National Cleaning Day into everyday life and ensure that they properly dispose of their wastes. Councillor Mansari will now be awarded with a water point, road paved with recycled plastic tiles, 10 solar-powered street lights, 10 scholarships to cover pupils' costs not covered by the free quality education. For SLBC News in Freetown, Patrick Saleh reporting.
The National Commission for Social Action and the Anti-Corruption Commission signed a memorandum of understanding for the implementation of a cash transfer in the Social Safety Net project. Mohamed Lamin Toure witnessed the signing and tells us more.
In 2014, the government of Sierra Leone instituted the first government-led cash transfer program known as EPFETPO, supported by the World Bank and implemented by NACSA. The initiative aims at protecting the poorest and the most vulnerable, reduce poverty, make economic growth more inclusive, and promote social cohesion. The purpose of the MOU is to formalize a relationship understanding between Anti-Corruption Commission and the National Commission for Social Action, NACSA. Commissioner of ACC Francis Benkafala said according to the MOU, NACSA will implement the project while the ACC will be monitoring the cash transfers. The ACC boss said they have entered into discussions and shared relevant documents pertaining to the implementation of the grievance redress components to beneficiaries of the Social Safety Net project.
And we, the ACC, are particularly in charge of the grievance redress mechanism. Within the Social Safety Net, resources are made available to members of the public by NACSA. And we are there to make sure, first of all, that there is transparency and accountability, but also where there are issues relating with the use and distribution of these funds, we can investigate and provide real-time support to the grievances that may come up and address them within the community. As you know, most of the communities are so far away from the central areas where disputes can be settled that this is really central to making sure that the project is successful, that the people feel part of it, and issues that arise out of them are dealt with in real time.
Commissioner of the National Commission for Social Action, Abubakar Kokofele, said the Commission is committed to implementing the MOU as NACSA will be responsible for facilitating the community-based targeting process according to the project. The commission was receiving around $13 million, but it has now been increased to $30 million. ACC has to deal with complaints by communities concerning how monies were handled and other logistics-related matters. NACSA will hire the services of qualified banks that will make payments at field level together with Statistics Sierra Leone.
And for the people we serve, the beneficiaries out there, we had little amounts of money to reach out to small communities. Now we've had a little bit of increase. We intend to reach out to all districts, but even so, we will not reach every community. Communities will be targeted on the basis of data that we'll collect from Statistics Sierra Leone that has done poverty mapping. They've done a number of assessments over the year. Their work kind of inform our targeting of communities that benefit.
The terms of the MOU commences on Friday, 3rd May 2019 and ends on Friday, 29th December 2023.
You're still watching the news here on the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. It's now time for us to go for news around the African continent. In Benin, a body has been found in search for two French tourists who and their local guard who disappeared last week while on safari in northwestern Benin. Sources cited in multiple reports say the body was that of the guide, but there has been no official confirmation. The group disappeared in Penegui National Park on Wednesday. The park is on the border with Burkina Faso, where Islamist militants have been increasingly active in recent months. The three were last seen driving a rented Ford SUV in the park, which is some 550 kilometers, 335 miles north of Benin's capital, Porto Novo. Beninese and French authorities are investigating the incident. Senegalese lawmakers on Saturday approved a constitutional reform to scrap the post of Prime Minister, the first initiative of President Macky Sall's second term in office. The motion passed with 124 members of parliament voting in favor and only 7 against the National Assembly, President Mustafa Nessé said Saturday evening after a 9-hour debate. The government approved the measure last month before sending it to the parliament, where the presidential party enjoys a majority. Sall, who was comfortably re-elected in February, announced the plan in early April, telling the Prime Minister Mohamed Ben Abdallah Douahi to abolish his own job. The move was a surprise, as it has not been part of Sall's re-election campaign. Muslims around the world are preparing for the commencement of the holy period of Ramadan. Ramadan is a 9th month as per the Islamic dating system, that is the Hijri calendar. Unified date of commencement is Monday, May 6, 2019, given that the new moon was not sighted across the world. Unlike the Gregorian calendar, where days of a month are fixed, the Hijri calendar depends on the sighting of the moon. Each month ends with 29 or 30 days maximum. With an unsighted moon, Muslims complete the preceding month of Saban to 30 days, with Ramadan kicking off the next day without fail. Ramadan is a period of 1 month that the faithful undertake a dawn to dusk fasting, which primarily entails abstinence from food, drink, marital intimacy, and any such prohibitions as instructed by God. Reports in Ghana indicate that the national chief imam, Sheikh Usman Nuhu, has asked the faithful to commence fasting on Monday. Over in Nigeria, the leader of the Muslims, the Sultan of Sokoto, Sheikh Saad Abubakar, tasked the faithful to look out for the new moon as Sunday, May 5th. And still for news around the continent, we go for sports, where the Kagbo family in Maishika town has provided 2 acres of land for the construction of a stadium in Maishika town in Botloko district. Unisidin Kago is a member of the Kago family. He spoke more to sports producer Francis Barnett about the land and work done so far in constructing the stadium.
Well, having realized the fact that we do not have so many recreational facilities even across the country. There are not many standard, soccer pitches and then the standard layout for athletics. So I convinced my family to ensure that we put aside a land of over 2 acres so that it could be used for a standard, soccer football field and also a layout for athletics. Now within that area also we have thought of other sports disciplines such as volleyball, tennis, wrestling.
So where is this land? Where is
the
it
land
located?
is at Masheka town, and we have already started the work at Masheka town. Now it's involved a huge amount of money to hire bulldozers. Per hour alone, we're talking about over $2,000. Now, we do not have the funds, particularly. So, therefore, we went back to the community and I spoke to my relatives so that we can start the work. So, we've started the work of putting the stumps, trying to ensure that we clear the place using our own, manual. This is why, perhaps this is now the start. Now, honestly, now I will engage the young people, to clear it. But when it comes to leveling of that field, we need, some machines, we need technology. We cannot do that, professionally, all by ourselves. But it involves a huge amount of money. We cannot raise the funds. Now we want to approach governments, we want to approach other, agencies. Now it's not a matter of, the discussion about the land. The land it's there already. So what we need now is for people to come on board and assist us actualize the stream. So that's my motivation. When the government said they will ensure that sporting facilities are being upgraded across the country, and government, I have also seen the commitment of government for the development of sport. So that is all the motivation why I went down to ensure that we secure this land. Now we are now in the process of meeting the Ministry of Sports and also meeting some friends that are putting artificial turfs around the country, so that if we could be considered for an artificial turf or for some kind of support, it would be great. Now you see the energy the young people are putting to ensure that this field is ready. We had wanted to get the job done before the start of the rainy season, but because it's a manual job, so it takes a lot of time. So but we are like 70% through with the uprooting of the stump. Now the next target now will be the grading, which we cannot do all by ourselves. So we need people to support us. We need governments to come.
And from sport, we go over to entertainment news with Kim Milan, where the Dynamic Range is a movie produced in Maryland, USA by a Cameroonian filmmaker Dexter Brent. The movie has mostly 70% of Sierra Leonean cast, and it will be premiered in Maryland on the 5th of May. Live from Maryland, USA, our entertainment producer Mohammed King Milan talks to the lead cast David Wakefande, and we first asked him how was it like for him to be part of the movie Dynamic Range. Let's look at this.
Well, the movie, it was just a blessing to be a part of this movie, Dynamic Range, because I came to know Dexter when he was shooting The Princess, and then we talked. He saw my output, and when he was ready for this movie, he gave me a call to say, Mr. Vande, I have this role. You want to take a look at it? And then the rest is what you're going to see next.
How did you come about involving into this movie? Will you please tell me?
The role I played is Hugo James. Hugo James is a kind of character that maybe in normal life I would not like, but I like the role. I like the role. It's Hugo James, and he's one of the big guns in the movie, and he's a businessman, and he loves to get his own way, and you don't joke with his money. When you joke with his money, you better be out of the way, because if he comes for you, that's not going to be good. I like the role.
What impact do you think this movie, Dynamic Range, will cause in the saloon and entertainment industry? What role do you think it will definitely cause?
Well, I know the industry has been going on for a while, but I think we're still lacking certain things that needs to be developed. And when you take a look at a movie like Dynamic Range, the quality of the production, the cast line, the kind of presentation we did, I think our filmmakers are going to learn a lot from that, African filmmakers, and to look at an action-packed movie like that, and for people even here in the United States of America to ask you if this movie was shot in Hollywood, then it means it is put at a very high level. So I believe that the people of my country, or filmmakers or the film industry, when they will see a movie like this and see Sierra Leoneans in this movie, they'll definitely be proud, and it will bring more impact to the industry. That yes, we are now at a different level, and for those who are doing films, we have to look at this and say, well, I think we have to catch up, or we have to go above what we've just seen.
Yes, indeed. A lot of younger artists will be watching you right now. This movie will be launched on the 5th of May, definitely on Sunday. But so what advice are you going to give to the actors right now coming up in this country? What advice are you going to give to them?
These are people that I like very much, especially when they're young and they're coming into it. I was one of them before. I used to be a very young man when I jumped into entertainment. They just believe that if somebody has got a keyboard, knock one or two bars there, you've got a video, put it together, you can make some joyful noise, and then you put it on YouTube, you have 500 hits you. And don't always rely on fashion. Fashion will fade away. Stick to your goal. Focus on what you want. Try to leave a legacy. Not something that will come today and just die out tomorrow and people don't even think about it. Whatever you have to do, make sure it remains in the minds of the people. Leave that with them, and they will always remember who you are.
But thank you so much. It's a pleasure being with me in this wonderful exclusive interview program on SLBC TV Entertainment News.
Well, thank you so much, and it was a pleasure being here on SLBC Television. Thanks, King Milan.
Well, that was the great guy, David Walker Vandy, right there from Maryland, United States of America, as he's definitely talked to me right live out there on the movie to be launched on the 5th of May, Dynamic Range. Thank you, and God bless you.
My contact in the Central Drug Enforcement Administration in the United States is currently out of the country.
Sorry, Mr. Hugo. This is not a decision we can make. We operate on professional basis. And there is absolutely, and I mean absolutely, no room for a plan B.
But my name is Hugo James. I can walk out of here a happy man, just like I came.
And to end the news, here are the main points again. New chairman of the Political Parties Registration Commission and the new deputy commissioner of the Anti-Corruption Commission have taken the oath of office before President Bio. Police have presented to court exhibits on the ongoing preliminary investigation of the alleged attempted murder by Kurma of Fonsella Agat Street. And the Ministry of Tourism to take tourism development areas in the country. Well, that's all we have in this edition of Newshour here on the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation, SLBC. I am Adam Small. Thanks for watching and just do this.